hope everyone's staying safe. Thank you, Mr. Manish Gupta ji, the Honorable Counsl General of India in Sydney, for joining us today. I welcome you all on behalf of AISECS. AISECS is Australian Indian Sports, Education and Culture Society, is a non-profit organization. As you all know, due to the current health situation, everyone's life is affected, and international students the most suffering. They don't have a family around and to support them as well. So today we have Manish Gupta ji with us to talk about the current situation and what step the Indian government is taking and helping our international students. Also, here I would like to add another point that yesterday come up with the Indian Prime Minister, the Modi ji and the Scott Morrison. They talk about and they decided to support the visitors, especially the student in each one's country, till this all comes to an end. Now, Manish Gupta ji, I just over to you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's really a pleasure to talk to you all. I know these are a very difficult, challenging times. And these are very unprecedented times also, as Prime Minister Morrison says, this is once in a century type of crisis. So obviously we are seeing tremendous disruption, in all our lives. This is affecting us. I understand you people are here, away from your families, alone, maybe in the company of your friends. So be with us also here. So what is more important for us is, is to realize that we as a whole, we need to work together. And second, we need to have some degree of, calm and patience as we move forward. While saying so, I am fully aware of some of your difficulties, that you face. But we also need to understand, this is a very evolving situation where all societies, countries, they are trying to adjust to a new normal. And when I say new normal, nobody knows what this new normal is going to be. Sitting here in Sydney, I can at least say, let's wait for next 6 to 8 weeks before you will have some clear idea which way the university, the higher education, tertiary sector is going to take the path. What are going to be a pathways, whether after online education, what the government's thinking is going to come through, what sort of social distancing norms, they are going to continue, or in which mode we are going to operate. Back home, Gurnam has already said, I'm very thankful to Gurnam also to you for coordinating this meeting. Yesterday, we have a discussion between the two prime ministers also. And certainly you would have seen the tweets that we have put it out that makes it very clear. Your concerns are certainly on the back of our minds. But what we will need first now, before we start, I will request each one of you to indicate your concerns briefly, what exactly you are looking at. So at least we'll see how best we can address some of your concerns and what are the arrangements so far we have made in place. Okay, so those things I will come later on. But right now I would request each of the students, just introduce yourself and try to highlight, the university you come from, what are the issues you are facing, and then we'll see, some of the things probably we can address spot on. Some of them will take a time of their own. Okay, so let's start.
Thank you, guys. Please be one by one, say your name, and also don't be so brief because we have a limited time. So just quickly start by addressing. Reed, can you lead from here and you can see the frame to start with the name?
Sure. Pankaj, you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, thanks for the opportunity. Hi, my name is Pankaj and I'm currently studying Masters from University of Sydney. And the issue which I think which I'm facing, everything has moved online, so it's hard to concentrate.
Just a moment, and since you are student of University of Sydney, you can indicate your concern and also concerns of your fellow colleagues also in the university. Okay. That will be make this discussion much more meaningful also.
And tell where you from, either you Sydney, from Melbourne or Adelaide, you mentioned that as well.
Okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm from Sydney, and the concerns which I think the students are currently facing are as the studies has moved online, it's hard to concentrate on the studies, and as the curriculum remains the same because we have the midterms and all, but it's really getting difficult for us to study. On the other part, managing the finances is also another big hurdle, as rent contributes most of the expenses of staying abroad, and we would like some assistance in managing the rent when we are not having any jobs or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
The second person.
Ashwant, do you want to go next?
And one more request, if you can, though we have some numbers available with us, if you can tell roughly the number of students in your opinion in your concerned university. That will also make this in discussion, much more substantive. Okay. Yes, please, go ahead.
Ashwant, you are on mute. We can't hear you. Sorry, you are on.
1 second.
Then
Yeah. Hi, sir. My name is Ashwant. I'm doing Bachelor's of Information Technology at the Australian Catholic University. Firstly and foremost, I think the most important or critical aspect which I think is affecting international students is the problem of banks shutting down. What I meant to say is, since India is under lockdown, all banks are not functioning. None of the banks are functioning. So people who are in financial hardship, who are experiencing financial hardship in Sydney, cannot get funds transferred from India. That is the main problem. If you and the respected Prime Minister, what he said was, people who international students who are facing trouble can go back. But what I think he failed to understand was, people who don't have cash can't fly back. You need money to fly back to India, right? And if you can't get money from your country also, then you are in a mad spiral. There is no way out, because one by one things will keep spiraling, and people who don't have cash, at least from my calculation, I think there are around 3 million international students, and maybe 10% are facing some financial hardship. With this spiral, people will start going around streets. I don't know, things will change. So there has to be some kind of maybe a helpline or something, or I don't know, maybe the Indian embassy can set up a helpline to at least address these issues, and maybe or provide an alternative to transfer funds from India. Because I had a friend from UTS. His problem was, his bank wasn't functioning, and I asked him to try net banking, but what he told me was, through net banking you cannot do international transfers. So this is like, this I feel is like a very important issue, and if the Indian embassy could also set up maybe
We have, I think, Ashwant, quickly, we have a very limited time. We get
Yeah.
your concern. I think CG is already will mention, but we also have sent the email that State Bank of India is actually dealing any bank you are in India, you can transfer from there, and State Bank of India is not charging any transaction fees as well. So CG
Okay.
will address this as well. He might be not down the point. So we can we go for the next student, please?
Dimant, you want to take now?
Guys, unmute your please, Dimant.
Yeah, just a sec. Hi, I am
Yes.
Zeman from University of Torrance, Adelaide. Actually, the current situation is very hard because we just lost our jobs. Plus, it's going online, so it's very difficult for us to study as much as possible, because actually we don't have we have lectures, but we cannot concentrate properly just because we cannot go to the universities and all stuff. Plus, it's very hard. Like my parents, they are like very tensed because the current situation is increasing here in Australia. So they just keep on telling me like, see, if you come back, it's good and all. But even the situation in India is the same. So if we don't face any problems here, I don't think anyone can be thinking of going to India or something like that. So the main thing is, if we have jobs, or if possible, if the rent and all is like waived for some time, it would be good for international students. I think that these two options are good for me. That's all.
Thank you, Dhiman. Read next.
Samay, do you want to go next?
Yeah, hi. Hi, sir. Good morning. Uh, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
yes, yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So I am studying Masters of IT in UTS, and I would like to briefly keep the sum of the points. So I am paying 20,000 fees for the semester. The university takes the fees on the name of face-to-face classes, which are not being going on. We all understand the situation. My point is, university can waive 20-30% reimbursement to the students because we are not able to use any of the facilities. And when some people say that university is paying electricity bills and everything, but the thing is like they have closed everything, and university has autonomous facilities of lights of switching off and on, so there is no point of electricity. We are not using their Wi-Fi, we are not using anything. Second point is university takes SSAF fees, student services and amenities fees, which is ranging from $150 or 155 in the university of different university of Sydney. They take these fees on the name of providing facilities to students like free lunch, free meal, and events held during the semester. I don't think there is any event going on physically for any of the student in Sydney for UTS or UCID. And I am saying this on behalf of more than 500 international students, that there is no use of $150 they are taking. Third point, which I want to say is that we all in Sydney, most of the homes are having Wi-Fi facilities, but when we connect online, the people comes with like the live video is on of everyone, so the network bandwidth goes low because at the simultaneous time in a particular area, many people connect the Zoom, and Zoom was not so much advanced in terms of this, so that it can handle pressure. So we have to use mobile data, and which is costing us to pay more in mobile data. Uh, Optus and Test are they are helping people. Maybe as AISECS is also helping all of the students. So it is helpful for the people who takes things on plan. What about the people who takes for per month things? My next point is Prime Minister Morrison said that the students who are facing difficulties can access to the superannuation who have been residing after 12 months. My point is, when we were in the 12 months as well, I have been here from like past 14 months. Before that also we were facing for the jobs on superannuation like on TFN. So what if our superannuation is not so helpful? So we are not able to like really access the money which is trying to say that. And also, the UTS has yesterday launched a program regarding the financial assistance hardship fund type of thing, but there is no mentioning of things that they would be paying us in financially. And despite of we all know that the Indian community is helping diaspora Indian students in Sydney, I am fully aware that no one is helping financially. So it is most important that everyone helps financially. And also in the rent, the government has said that you can ask your owner to postpone your rent or not pay at the current time. But the situation will be just like passed away from now. But what if this rent will be 10 times higher after 10 weeks? Then at that time, how will the money will come in? Because we are not having the jobs. Like I was doing casual jobs. I was doing 10 like at 10 places casual jobs. I was having various shifts and at various places. I was having events. I was working with Sydney. I was working with Station. I was working with TEDx. All of the events are cancelled. TEDx is going on, but that is voluntarily. Now what? After 10 weeks, how will I get the money? Because in India, back in India also, the income which was coming is lost. And when we give the guarantee, as one Prime Minister Morrison said that you give warranty before coming here. So we give warranty for the first 12 weeks that under the normal circumstances. This is a pandemic declared by World Health Organization, where 10,000 people have died in USA, the world power. So this is not the normal situation in which the family can support everyone. I'm talking like normally, not checking about me.
Thank you,
Thank you
Samay.
so much. I hope this point helps.
Thank you. Samay. Read next is Abhiraj.
Yeah.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. But you can
Good
see.
afternoon, everyone.
Yes.
We can't see you, Abhiraj.
Yeah, can you see me now?
Yes.
Better.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, thanks, Samay, for your insights. I would really agree to everything what you have said, and you have mostly covered all the points. The one point which I would really like to focus from Samay's list is like the fees which the universities are taking from us. It's a hefty sum, and regards to that, not getting much facilities. Am I still audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you are
yes.
audible.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we are not getting much facilities. So that's one of the major concerns. I think if that's been resolved, then a lot of international students will be in a very relaxed state.
Mhm.
But apart from that, I would really love to thanks the CGI, the Counsl General of India, and AISECS. Like AISECS has really helped me in this moment. Like one other day, like I was out of groceries and I needed some Indian groceries, but I live far away from Parramatta. Gundam ji by himself like got me a lot of groceries, and I would really like to thank AISEC for supporting all of us in this situation. Like it's really a difficult moment, and we all as a community should help each other.
Thank you, Abhiraj.
Abhiraj, you are from which university?
I'm from University of Sydney, sir.
Okay, you're Sydney. Okay.
Rashi,
Next.
next.
Hello, my name is Rashi. I'm a current student at the University of Sydney, currently pursuing Masters of Social Work. My issues are basically summed up by Samay himself. I had issues at the university level. They are charging us around 4,000 to 5,000 per subject, but the quality of education has deteriorated quite a bit. It's not only the guest lecturers, the guest lecturers, the conference calls, all were a part of the entire package, the field education, everything. But now with the virtual education, everything has gone off, because of which the fees that we are paying does not justify the amount of quality education that we are getting from the university. Point A, point B, and this is not only myself. So Master of Social Work does not have a lot of international students, but I have a lot of other students, which are so around 300 to 400 students which are international. They basically are facing the same problem. The second problem that we are facing is coming to the government. This government support that we are seeking. Most of the students are financing themselves over here. We are either on student loan or are supporting ourselves. I myself paid my second semester's fees by the casual part-time that I was doing. With the casual part-times gone and the bank not able to, there is not much that we can get from our parents. There is a area in our rents. I understand the area of rents can be let gone for 6 months, but what about after 6 months? We still have to pay that amount. So with the shortage of casual jobs, I don't see that happening. That's a very financial instability that I can foresee. Apart from that, there is a third concern in my head. That's about when it comes to the virtual education, there are other issues around with it. So personally for me, I have another placement due from the month of August, when the Prime Minister of the country addresses the audience saying that you can go back to your country if you are facing these financial hardships. My question comes that even if I go back, I'll have to come back for the, so as to continue my course, because this field education is a part of my course. So I'll have to come back. But what if this lockdown continues? I'll not be able to take care of myself by coming back. So these are a few practical implications which were not thought about. And I think that sums up my concerns.
Rashi, Zenia, you want to next.
Hello, sir. My name is Zenia, and I'm pursuing a master's from UTS. And my main concerns are summed up by Samay and Rashi. And the main problem is that we are not getting the quality of education we came up with, the expectation. I'm just here for last 1 month. I came here in Sydney on 5th of March. I just had 1 week of face-to-face lectures. And then from then onwards, we got into online mode. My subjects have two subjects which has labs and tutorials, and I'm facing too much of difficulties in understanding that subject, right? So Samay, the point which you told is like a university should waive some percentage of fees, should refund some percentage of fees, because we're not getting the all the necessary things, and we're not availing any facility of the university, right? I was not able to explore the whole university. I just went for a week to the uni, and then it all got shut down. And my one more concern is, sir, that I have a daughter in India. She is 2.2-year-old. Earlier, it was planned that I will call her here in Sydney after 1 month of me getting settled here. But now neither I can go back, and now she can come to me for next 6 months. So I am in a very, unstable condition. What to do? I'm not able to understand what to do. Then the main concern of all these students on behalf of all the international students is the living expenses of Sydney that are too much. Sydney is considered as one of the most expensive cities. So we were here, like we came here with the hope that we will have a good life, will have everything. I know the situation is uncertain. It's uncertain for all of us. We are unlucky. I consider myself unlucky to be in Sydney in this situation, just being 1 month here away from my daughter. And I don't know what to do now. I mean, she can't come to me. And Prime Minister said that you should go back. How should I go back? India is locked down and there is no scope of getting lockdown lifted up. How should all the international domestic flights are cancelled? So I don't know what to do. So my main concerns are this. So I will be highly grateful if you people guys help me out, help all of us out, because all of us are facing all the same difficulties.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you, sir.
Next is George, I guess.
Hi, hello, sir. Am I audible? I'll just check.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So my name is Gideon, and I'm studying in University of New South Wales. And I came in Feb only. So again, like Zina said, so I've just been to college like 1 month. And again, so we had a lot of facilities in University of Sydney. We had visiting not just faculties, we had meetings and extracurricular, you could attend lectures and, happening in the common areas and stuff. So a lot of areas to learn and, interact. And that interaction option is gone. So, and again, the fees is still very high. The same, what they charge, like 2 times, 3 times almost to the other, domestic students. And so just to request that, if something could be done for that, it would be very, because it doesn't feel, the fees doesn't justify the education which you were receiving. And even I'm studying a master's in international business. So we had a lot of, professional development courses and others lined up. But then now, even I'm not so sure, because for one subject which I've taken is global business. And what the problem which I'm facing is like, the thing is like they've reduced the quality so much that they considered just saying, pass or fail. So it's gone to that level. So, and again, because many of the students are not being able to cope up, and again, yeah. And also, like, I'm in constant touch with a lot of students from, for example, I'm from Tamil Nadu, and I have a lot of Tamil friends, and I grew up in North India, so North Indian friends also. So again, many of them either just want to go home because they can study at home also, so they're considering that option. But then again, so there comes 2 options, 2 problems. That's what many of the previous, just now, this, as they said, going back home, and then there's uncertainty that what if they want to come back, exams or anything, what is the option? So a lot of uncertainties, something has to be done. And yeah, so my main points here. And then the third thing is the rent, of course, like I just came, so I have some savings, but that's the thing. Banks, like, again, banks has been addressed, but then it feels unfair that, there's no proper setup which has been done. Something has, it would be really helpful for us if something was formulated at a government level or something. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, George. The next, I think we should take Tanvi from Melbourne.
Yep. Hi, am I audible?
Yes, Tanvi.
Yep. So I'm just gonna be covering some other points because I just don't want to repeat everything. So the major thing that so I'm talking on behalf of at least 150 to 200 students that are enrolled, that are Indians and that are enrolled in my course. I'm from Monash University and I'm doing Masters of Counseling, which comes under psychology. So the major problem that we're facing is of placement. So most of us have gotten a placement in the schools, but however, the schools have shut down and there is uncertainty of when and how they're going to be opening, because of which and without which we will not be able to graduate. So it's about, we're talking So we have 200 hours of placement that we need to do as a compulsory part of our course. However, since the schools are not going to be opening, they're asking us to extend our course by and take an extension of another 6 months, which means that we would be paying double the rent. Double the fees and also the rent, because we'd be staying here and extending our course for another 6 months, which does not make sense. However, and the placements they've told us that the placements cannot go on like online at all, so they have to be like contact hours itself. And just the other problem that I would like to address is the fact that I'm staying on campus and there are a lot of students, Indian students, who are staying on campus here. That was just because it was convenient to us and all the resources that we were getting paid off. However, all the resources have been taken away from us because there is nothing open. The libraries are not open. They've shut down the libraries. They've shut down all the restaurants and all the amenity services, the grocery stores, everything's off like on campus as well. So, but however, we just received an email from our residential services, and they said that we have only two options: either to continue our lease or to actually just drop out from the lease and like not pay the cancellation fee. Those are the only two extremes that they're offering us. There is no subsidized rent that they're offering, despite of the students actually lodging a request. But they're saying either take it or leave it. It's the kind of approach that they're handling, which is not fair considering that we have no amenities anymore on campus. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Tanvi.
Thank you.
I think we should go with Gagan from Adelaide. Hello, Gagan. Can you unmute your? Yes.
Can you hear us now?
And your video. Can you tap your video, please?
Gagan, are you able to hear us?
Hello, Gagan.
I don't think so.
Who else is left? I think CG. I think is anyone left, guys? Preet, can you please check?
No, I think we have covered everyone who's there.
All right, CG. Now you can take over and please go how you address these issues.
Thanks to each one of you, it's good you have articulated your concerns. So at least for the people who are here in this video conferencing, I know the extent of the problems you are facing. Now, let me just try to, put the issues into the perspective, right? Some things we must understand will come under the purview of the universities. Some things will come within the purview of either the state government or the federal government we are in, okay? And some things may be related back to the infrastructure in India. So somebody spoke about the banking thing also. And then looking into, short, medium and long-term priorities. Because we must understand, it's a very uncertain world. Each one of us use this world and fully understand. So nobody knows. The government also does not know. We also don't know. So my first piece of advice is don't worry too much at this point of time what will happen 6 months down the line. These are uncharted waters for everyone in the world, and we all are sailing in the same boat. So it's better we should maintain our degree of composure and see what my immediate concerns are. Am I able to handle those? So one thing, I would suggest the rental thing, the government, I understand there are complications, but the government at least has come out with the thing for 6 months, nobody can evict the people who are on rent. Okay. How it will be implemented, I know it's still under discussions at various states at various levels also.
Because I think it will be decision today.
For commercial tenancies, there are guidelines, but for the individual tenancies, I have not seen any state come across with a very detailed sort of guidelines. Having said that, one thing is at least good, that nobody can evict you for 6 months. And if you are being threatened, at least write back to us. We will also step it. Okay. Now, looking into the next few months, let's think about our own costs. Each one of us has different degree of challenges. How we can economize our costs. Okay. If you need rations, groceries, takeaways, that we are working in collaboration with the community, we can support you. Okay. For those cases, those are really, what I would say, pressing ones. Even we can find out an accommodation for some of you. But the fact remains, it's a very temporary ad hoc arrangement, which may bring in more uncertainty in your things, after 2 months, 3 months down the line, what will happen to me? Or maybe that accommodation, even if you find out with the community, some of you may have a feeling, no, this is not the thing I was looking forward to, or it is too distant. Okay. So groceries, those things, at least whatever, if we can help you out in this, that will, I know you are pressed for the finances, but that will bring down some degree of elevation, in the situation you people are in. Second thing, the fee. The universities, I fully understand you people have paid for obviously online, not for the online classes. I mean, for full classroom courses, that what we people have paid for. So we are already in touch with some of the universities. Some have passed on the rent reductions, but each one of you will just first let's be clear about it. Will a fee reduction or the deferment of fee, which one is better for you?
Guys, that's
Fee
a question
reduction,
for
fee
all of
reduction.
you.
It has to be fee reduction.
I would like
Fee
to
reduction.
clear on this. Deferment in sense of which, like the
I
like
don't know. I am just discussing with you. I'm not giving you any assurance,
No,
because
I
this
would
is then
personally
obviously,
suggest
taken
a
by the
fee
university.
reduction. I'm so sorry. I would suggest a fee reduction, because deferment of fee, especially for students who might have to stay here longer to continue with their course, it will just add on to them. A reduction of fees is just because, as you mentioned, these are uncertain times. We don't know how the situation is going to deteriorate or going to upgrade. So a fee reduction is the adequate solution to the problem at hand, at least from my end.
yeah,
yeah.
truly, Rashi, truly. Fee reduction is the only option they should give. Deferment doesn't make sense. Deferment doesn't make sense.
I would like to just suggest one thing. As we all know, the institutes in Sydney don't give the things like payback like things. They don't donate the money back to the students. What they can do is reimbursement. So they can take the
Yeah.
amount of 30, 10, 20%, 30% fees into their account only. Don't give it to students. But if they pass to the next semester, just add that fees into their account by default.
Mm.
As we do, like if we pay by mistake, if you pay something more, if you pay something less, they used to adjust this to the next semester. But in this case, the things problem will arise with the people who are in the last semesters. The last semesters, people would be having great issues if the things of reimbursement implies. How will be they be having the fees paid into their accounts? Or maybe if they can just give the check of reimbursement at the last when they will be having the degrees. Or in Sydney, the institute is taking the money for the degree as well. Like when you have the convocation, they take fees of that as well. So maybe they can reimburse during that. So I like what I have like seen in past 14 months is like university will never pay you. They will never give you the amount into your accounts. They can only
But other
reimburse.
universities,
They can only
Samay, but
reimburse.
other universities are doing that.
Yeah,
Other
Samay, also, to
universities
be
are.
honest, yeah, even University of Sydney, a lot of international students have approached the university, and we have got positive response from the university. That's a very good thing. And I mean, I understand what you're going through. And so when you come up with the reimbursement policy, there are a lot of micro, issues that have to be addressed as well. So of course, I completely understand for the students who are in their last semester, they'll have to face these issues. But at least this is better than deferment of the payment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And
Okay, so
CG,
basically
also
what we are looking for is, you people are looking for is either a fee reduction or in form of reimbursement, or maybe adjusted in the next semester tuition. That's what we are
Correct.
looking for.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's good. That at
but
least sums up
CG,
the thing.
I want to add one point here, as we sent most of the university a few letters, and every university is actually planning in a different manner, depending how many growth they have for international students, how many growth they have for local students. So they're working on that side. So Western Sydney Uni is doing 10% reduction and giving back. And then Macquarie, we have spoke, they're giving $2,000 for each international student to pay back in November or December, however. So this is like, I think the criteria is every university have a different program, where be supported by the student association and the government. So I think CG, I was thinking maybe it should go as a reduction piece, 10%, 20%, whatever, because they actually not using the premises, not using any facilities organized by, and also they being charged for the internet or the electricity, whatever they're sitting at home. And the basic things is there is no work at all.
No, I fully understand what you are saying. At least we are clear. We are looking for a fee reduction or a reimbursement.
Yeah.
Because I am not going to give you any reassurance here because the point is very simple. These are Australian universities. But what we are trying to work in a very concerted way, stepping up the pressure gradually, on the authorities. Yesterday also we had the Prime Minister discussion where the issues of student also came up for discussions. So this thing will further take up with the universities. Now somebody raised one of you, I think, raised the issue of, I think it was Ashwant who raised the issue of getting funds transferred to Australia from India. This is the first time come across these concerns. Two of our banks, probably most of you are aware, that's State Bank of India and Bank of Baroda, they are here within Sydney. And State Bank of India also operates from Melbourne.
So, but
I
the
will
problem
talk
is,
to both the banks. I don't foresee anything, but probably because of the district your parents are in, that's probably creating a problem. Otherwise, I don't think so there should be an issue. But nonetheless, you write to our consular section with your accounts and all, we'll work it out.
yes, sure.
Okay, we'll see how best we can help you out on that particular thing. Flights, I will be very clear with you. Till 14th, there are clear-cut directions. We have no flights. So till 14th, we have to wait. We have to wait for the further government instructions. And some of you are very rightly recognized because you don't know what is after this event also. Once after a few months, what is in store for you, for instance. Even if you go back to India, maybe you will have pressing concerns to come back also again. So nobody knows. So just be patient, wait for a while till we have clarity, how the situation is evolving here within Australia also. Because within India, within Australia, US, you name the country, everywhere the same situation is the same. These are very uncharted waters. Even the government, so you are in uni, you are not concerned with it. But here the government is still considering, how to do with the class 12th exams, for instance, HSC exams, which is a thing, to provide admissions to people to the universities. So a lot of these issues are there, but this one particular thing will take care of. Rentals, this is ideally between the landlord and the tenant but still AISECS is there. You can also write to us, we'll see. But obviously for 6 months, if somebody is forcing you to evict and you have already a land lease agreement, do write to us. This is something where we can certainly speak to the authorities. Okay. So let us know on that particular aspect. Then lastly, financial management. So most of you do understand, but this is something, be a little restrained and take care of the advice of the local authorities also. Going outdoors, yours is an age group, where people are tempted, once you are as a friends also as a group. So it's better stay home, stay safe. It's easy to say, difficult to follow because many of you will be sharing the apartments also. I do understand, but please take care of your own health, on fitness. The consulate helplines, they are already there on the website. Please follow us on Twitter as well as on Facebook. We are always in touch with you. We'll try to help you as much as we can. But I won't like to give you a solution by saying, things are normal. Frankly, things are not normal. It's a very uncertain world. Everywhere the governments are facing the problems. And don't read into the statements, coming from here and there. We are working as a whole for your own benefit, for the benefit of the community, for the benefit of our own students who are based here out of Australia. Doesn't matter, it's Sydney, Adelaide, Melbourne, the Perth, wherever you are. But we are there for you. And once we have some indication of, gradual opening of the Indian aviation space or something, we will be in touch with you through our social media platforms. But probably this will be a long-term call. I encourage any one of you to look into this at this aspect, because once you are back home, you will have same uncertainties also there. Because I don't know what course your university is going to take back over here. And lastly, for the telecom connections, mobile connections, you know, most of these are private entities. Nonetheless, we will take up the matter with them, because students as a whole, they can provide them some concessions, which makes some sense. Not going to be a big amount, but nonetheless, whatever comes, I think so we should at least try for it. There's no harm in trying for the thing. Okay.
So I would like to request in these things regarding the
Yes.
internet. Yeah.
Yes.
So the university has gone online, which is deteriorating many of the things of the students. We came here for understanding and better learning of our lives and understanding the things through our degree. Through the online, I am an IT student of cybersecurity. I have 4 subjects. All of them have labs. It is damn difficult to go to the labs. I know what the situation is going on. So we are fighting financially. We are fighting. Our parents are fighting back in India with any of the situation. Australian government is fighting with Corona. Everything is going on, but our industry is going on simultaneously. We have to give quizzes, we have to give assignments. Everything is same. They have not changed a single thing, and the pressure has increased despite of things getting online. And to be honest, in some of the classes in my subject, even the tutors labs are not recording it. Zoom has automatic feature of recording it. I have asked my student association, they have asked to the VC, so they have said that okay, they will be having recording. But for example, if XYZ is a tutor and ABC is a tutor, so if I am enrolled into XYZ tutor, I would be getting recording for only ABC tutor. But he is not teaching me, and teaching of both the tutors are very different. Taking exams of both the tutors are very different. And the rental thing also, the owner cannot ask you to evict for 6 months, but how will the rent will come after 6 months? The government, if the owner is either Australian or whatever, maybe government can help in any sort of way in rental things, because just passing the things for 6 months that he cannot evict you doesn't resolve the issue. Even after 6 months you have to pay the rent, whatever the things is calculated, multiplied by your weeks. Thank you.
Samay, you are right, but that's what I told you also. Don't look too much into the future at this stage. The problem is that is not going to solve our problems.
So one more thing, sir.
Let's go for the immediate to the things which are for the next 2-3 months. We'll continue to meet in this format. I have no issues, but please try to understand all the solutions cannot come at one go.
And
let's try where we can work as a team. We can help you out that mitigate some of the whatever we have taken. The universities, government here, it's a mitigative action. We'll continue in that direction. And Guna, if I suggest, can you create a WhatsApp group?
100%, sir. I will add, and we have few other conversation, and we actually trying to plan the job planning with Simon Tuffle, and that will be the webinar. I would like you to join as well to focus, because lots of query we actually getting from the survey that a lot of people, they do want to work job, how to apply. I think, guys, I would give you a really quick example. We spoke to one of the girls. She lives in Macquarie Park. She was studying in Macquarie Uni, and that first day we spoke to her, she lost her job. And then she asked me, I really don't want rent from someone, but I really want to work. I told her to apply a few jobs in different sector. I know you from IT or you was working somewhere very high, good job. But at this stage, I think there is everything is remotely, everything working on phone calls, Centrelink. There is hundreds of things, but there is a job opportunity if you actually go look into apply for a call center. There is a opportunity. I think we only can do what we can do is this is need to be focused and very if you guys understand and explain people that we are with you, we are trying to help as much as we can. We can't ask the government do this, because they have also a priority for Australian citizen and the resident. And don't forget that Australian citizen and resident, we are also the one. They're supporting us as well. They did not say white people or any other person. They're supporting us as Australian citizen and the permanent resident. But as being you are an international student, it's our responsibility to support you as much as we can support you. So guys, please support each other in tough time. Anything CG already mentioned that they have already a helpline. You approach to us. We're trying to help you out as much as we can. Food, grocery, rental. We did few things. If you really want to move, we putting the priority that if the girl is there, so we're putting the priority for the woman first. That maybe adjusting with the family, but as CG mentioned, it will be difficult to adjust with someone. So just minimize your usage, like just to control it with adjustment life. think about this. If you go back to India, what will happen there? There is no certain, there is nothing, and then you will be locked down again for 6 months if some rules have been changed. So CG, I think thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Yeah, and my point is, is a very limited one, because at the end of the day, since all of you are here, now you have to take your degrees, isn't it? You have to complete, because that's the objective you people came here. So I think we should have the objective in sight. And please always remember, this is a very simple thing, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And coming from India, all of people, we are accustomed to making some degree of adjustments. I know it's not easy. Some of the girls, Rashi and Zina, some of you really, what do you say, wrong people entering at the wrong time. But that's how the life is, sometimes what we could say, it has simply not fallen into place. Otherwise, it's
I have one more, excuse me, sir, sorry to interrupt. I have one more concern on behalf of my fellow students. International students are willing to go back to India after the lockdown has been lifted after 14th of April. I would like to suggest that Indian government should work out with the airfares. The airfares are too high when the lockdown is getting lifted up. Like Air India flights have been, the fares are too much high, and the students are worried, panicking about the airfares. So I would like to, say that Indian government should work with the airfares for the international students who are stuck in Australia or any other countries. They should give some amount of discount to the students after the lockdown has been lifted up.
Okay.
Because most of these students are panicking with the airfare. They are not able to, book their flights because of the fares.
Oh, don't worry, this is a step second, right now, we have to wait till 14th. Certainly, you have thing, and I would relate to Air India also. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Let's see how it goes. But ultimately, let me tell you, having said this, the government of India is perhaps one of the most generous governments anywhere in the world. I don't want to elaborate on this beyond a point, but you just Google it, what the Australian government's policies are and what the Indian government policies are. We are more than proactive to assist, support our people as much as we can, but obviously there are constraints for each and every government. So be in touch with us. Don't get disheartened. That's the key message I would like to convey to you, all of you at this stage. That's most important. And don't worry too much about the future also, because we all know what we don't know at this stage. But maybe in next 6 to 8 weeks, probably we'll have some degree of clarity what will be the new normal in which this world is going to function. Okay. So we will be in touch with us. Thank you very much. I would like to take leave from all of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
CG.
sir.
So much, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
And guys, if you have any concern anytime, as CG said, just get back to him, or you can get us at AISECS as well. So we'll try our best to get back to you as soon as possible with all the help that we can do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.